I come from a long line of photographers. My grandfather was a photographer. My father and my uncle were photographers. And my father taught me when I was 11 years old, when I was just joining Boy Scouts. He taught me how to develop film and a darkroom and print my own enlargements. So when I was a Boy Scout, I won a little snapshot camera from selling Boy Scout wreaths. So I had my own camera, and so I became a yearbook photographer in high school. And so I've always been interested in photography. When Dr. Ruggie was searching for grant money, there came a time when I think it was in the late 1980s, I had just sold my baseball card collection and used the money to buy a really nice medium format camera. And he said, you know, I wouldn't mind if you could take some pictures of some of our patients so that we can show them to the feds and the state in our grant applications and so on. And I was already doing home visits, which I always enjoyed doing. It gave me an excuse to drive around the Adirondacks and explore the back roads and everything. And I just happened to be taking care of a man in the hospital who had had a stroke and was very frail. And he was a typical country guy who, you know, a very, very simple lifestyle. And he had this stroke and he was recovering, but he was very weak. But he said, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And so I was, you know, I was torn. You know, this poor guy's heart was breaking, being in the hospital, didn't want to go to a nursing home. So after a while, finally, I said, okay, I'll send you home, but I'm going to come visit you in about a week, and I want to make sure you're doing okay. And so I thought to myself, maybe I should take his picture when I get there. He was living in a tiny little trailer that was so small that I couldn't even get my camera in on a tripod to take his picture. But what I noticed was he was happy as a clam. He was ecstatic. He was so glad to be home. And he seemed to be doing fine. But I took his picture, and I thought, you know, this is pretty cool. I should keep doing it. So I made a point to bring it with me on home visits. And then I started photographing patients of mine who were just characters who looked like they would be photogenic, and I'd say, do you mind if I stop by your house on my way to work one day? You know, and I started gathering this portfolio of images of the patients of the Hudson Headwaters, and I finally gave a portfolio of them to John Ruggie, and he was kind of blown away. And when he showed them to the feds, he said they couldn't wait to pull out a checkbook. He said, how much do you want? So
I remember that.
That's how my portrait career started, and it just kind of took on a life of its own.